everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, and this is For Positive Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today we're going to be resetting my TBR cart. Summer, I did a video, and it was the end of year TBR tag or something like that. I'll leave it up above, where I put books on my TBR cart and I tried to read them. Not necessarily that I was going to read all of them by the end of the year, but these were just books that I wanted to pick from. I wanted them front and center, so that way when I was doing my categories, these books kind of were the ones I immediately went to. I did not do so well with that. Probably only maybe a third of them got read. It's fine. We're not going to talk about it. But I want to do it again. I reset my TBR cart, so right now it is completely empty except for the bottom portion of it, which are the books that I haven't hauled yet. That's where I put my brand new books. So I want to fill up the first two levels with books that I want to read this year, or in the first half of the year. So I have you kind of push back a little bit of a different angle. I'm standing because I don't have those books. So we're going to be searching for them together, and I'm going to talk to you about why I want to put them on there. And we're just going to have a very chill video. So grab yourself a drink, or maybe just put this on while you're doing dishes or folding laundry, and let's get started. I think we're going to start on this side of the room and move to this one. I have these three shelves that you see in front of or behind me. And then I have two smaller cubed shelves on either side of this stand. So yeah, let's just do this. Okay, I have a couple of books over here that I definitely want to get to, but they kind of have more of a spooky vibe. So I think I'm going to probably do that on my next round of this when we start getting back into the fall. Because let's be honest, when it's starting to be spring and everything is starting to grow again, the last thing I want to do is read about a haunted forest. I don't want to do that. The first book is going to be Dune by Frank Herbert. I watched the movie back in October, I think. Yes, because it was when we were in California. I watched this. And I knew that I wanted to watch the movie before I read the book, because I've heard some things about this book and the fact that it's a little dry and it's a little dense. So I was hoping that having already having the visual picture in my head will help me get through this book, because it is a lot of work. I mean, it's the font is not big and the margins are not large. So here we go. But can we appreciate the floppiness of this paperback? That just makes me happy, not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna preemptively put a couple of nonfiction books on here. The first one is going to be the Anthropocene review by John Green. I just picked this one up recently. This one I'll probably read on audio, actually, because John Green narrates it, and I do have it from Libro.fm, so that's probably how I will ingest this. But this, I think, has to do with climate change and how we're treating our planet. So something I definitely would like to read, and I know that John Green will do an excellent job with that narrative. And then I would also like to read I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown. Margaret read this last summer and literally quoted half the book in her vlog. So it immediately made it onto my my TBR, and I want to make sure that I pick it up sooner rather than later. It's super short, and I'm hoping to get a lot out of it. Moving on, I would like to add, I'll probably add more classics to this, but right now this is definitely a classic that I want to read, and it's been on my mind because I'm currently reading The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this just has the same vibes to it. I read this book way back when I was a kid, and I remember loving it, but as an adult, I don't remember the book. I remember the feeling of reading the book and loving the book, but I don't remember what's actually in the book. So maybe it was just a fever dream. I don't know. But I'm going to read The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. This is a modern classic. I think it came out, let's see, originally. I want to say it was the 70s or 80s. 1978. I was right in the middle. So yeah, this is like a murder mystery about, let's see, a bizarre chain of events begins when 16 unlikely people gather for the reading of Samuel W. Westing's will, and though no one knows why the eccentric, gang-loving millionaire has chosen a virtual stranger and a possible murderer to inherit his vast fortune, one thing's for sure, Sam Westing may be dead. So I don't know if the Inheritance Games is literally like a retelling of the Westing game. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. But it's just giving me all the vibes. So we're going to read it. Now we're going to move into this shelf over here. Don't mind the empty flower pot that I completely forgot to reset after Christmas not being a thing anymore. I'm going to put Doctors and Friends by Kimmery Martin on here. I read The Queen of Hearts. Is that what the book is called? I can't think of words today. I read that one back in December and absolutely loved it. So I picked this one up during the 50% off hardcover sale. So I would like to read it. The Resident comes back in February, which is probably one of my favorite like ongoing TV shows right now. Sorry about that, but I just like, you know, I like my drama sometimes. Like it gives me the kind of the same vibes. And this is about doctors working in a pandemic. So I feel like it's like very relevant to the times. So this is what we're gonna read. It's been like just staring at me for almost a month now, but I had already filmed my December TBR or my January TBR by the time I bought that book. So it is what it is. I'm trying to do this in a way where like I'm not overwhelming myself with all of these books, but at the same time there's like, oh, I want to read this book. Oh, and I want to read this book. Oh, and I want to read this book. There's just a lot, okay? Let's do a couple of middle grades because there is middle grade March. That is a thing that is happening. And then I also have to think of Pride Month being in June. So that'll be like a month where I read all the queer things. So I want to add some of that stuff in there because that'll be the first half of the year. So like keep that in mind. I think I'm going to pick up a Marty and the Night Brothers because I was supposed to do that last year. This was definitely a book that I wanted to read in 2021. It's definitely a book that needs to be read. Everyone's raving about this. I don't think I've seen one person speak negatively about this. Hopefully it does not become another Nevermore, because I don't remember seeing someone that didn't like Nevermore, and then I read it and was sorely disappointed, so hopefully not. This is a book that, again, I really meant to pick up in 2021 and never got around to it, and that's In the Quick by Kate Hope Day. Apparently this is a Jane Eyre retelling in space, and I don't know what it is about books this year being Jane Eyre retellings, but here we go. We're going to read this one. The cover of it is just absolutely beautiful. Love this. So I don't know much about it. I kind of like to go into it blind. It's very short. But yeah. I am going to pick up the Bromance book club and add this one to my cart. If you watched my most recent vlog, I hauled the entire series because I found them at Half Price Books for a really good deal. So I bought all of them, so I should start the series. That is a thing that I should do. Okay, if you don't know what this is, hi, welcome to BookTube. But this is about a group of men who like form this book club, and they read romance novels, and it like helps them solve their real life problems or something like that. This one specifically, I think he's having trouble with his marriage, and so he reads a romance novel to like, I don't know, we'll see. People really seem to love this book. I'm getting a very weird shadow, and I apologize for that, but it is my overhead light, so there's not a lot I can do about it. The other book that has been on one of these TBR carts before and never actually got read, and so I need to read it because I am trying to read all of Talia's backlist this year, and that is That Kind of Guy by Talia Hibbert. This is about Ray and Zach. This has an older protagonist in it, something that I really love when Talia does that, and also has like, based on the synopsis, has some Zaph and Danny vibes, which like, hi, welcome to my channel. We stand Zaph and Danny. I would like to finish this series. Again, it's another series to complete. One of my big goals for the year is to finish a bunch of series. So that's gonna go on here. Okay, this one may seem a little bit out of left field, but not really, especially if you watch my best books of the year. The Midnight Library was my favorite book of 2021, so I'm going to pick up some more of his books, and How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. This is about a man who looks like a 41-year-old, but he's been alive for centuries. He performed with Shakespeare. He had cocktails with F. Scott Fitzgerald. Basically, he reinvents himself all the time. Has to move to different places so that people like don't catch on to the fact that he's immortal. So it kind of gives me like Addie LaRue vibes, which love that book too. But then he meets a woman and he's trying to like grapple like starting a real life versus like not being discovered. So seems like an excellent premise. We'll see what happens. I can't have a TBR cart without putting on Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I do need to continue on with this series. I've only read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, so I can't call myself a Grishaverse fan if that's all I've read. So I'm going to start Shadow and Bone. I would like to read this sooner rather than later because I know that season 2 of Shadow and Bone is coming. So would like to get a head start and a jump on this. Also, that's really pretty. Didn't realize that was there. This next one I'm a little hesitant to put on, but only because it's a reread, so I don't know why I should be hesitant. I don't know. My game, my rules. But that is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha. I did read this twice. I read it in 2018, originally when it first came out, and then I reread it in 2019 in preparation for Girls of Storm and Shadow. Girls of Storm and Shadow was a disappointment for me. I didn't love it, but I'm hoping to upon reread. And then the third book just came out this past November, I think. So I want to kind of binge the whole series. You know, we'll see what happens if I get to all 3 of them, but we're going to put the first one on here. I'm going to be putting The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White on here. I was given an ARC copy of the Camelot Betrayal, and I accepted it because I didn't realize that it was a sequel or was a duology, and I hadn't read the first one. So here we go. We're going to read the first one, and then we will like move on and finish out that ARC copy. Another goal of mine this year is to definitely improve on my NetGalley score. It's sitting in the like mid-50s right now, so it's not like terrible. It's definitely been worse, but I would like to get it up to that 80% mark, and so that means like taking off some of my older ones that I just never got around to reading. So we're gonna put this on there. Okay, that fills up the first row. I don't know that we'll completely finish out the second row, but we have at least some. I have a very ambitious Goodreads goal this year. Very ambitious, especially for the amount of books that I want to, like the types of books that my video ideas and the creation are asking me to do. So I'm gonna put a couple graphic novels on there. So the first one that we're going to put on there is Bloom by Kevin Panetta. This will probably get read during Pride Month in June because A, it's like a very summery graphic novel, and B, pretty sure it's queer. Like 95% sure it's queer. So that'll probably be a Pride Month. And then this is one that I've had on my shelf for so long and I really just always forget about it. But I remember, I want to say it was Julie from Pages and Pens talking about this years ago. Read it during like a readathon or something like that. So I found it on Thrift Books or Book Outlet or something like that. Like I said, it's been years. And that is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. And it's just this like kind of adorable graphic novel about an alien. Looks really cute. Should be a really quick read. But again, I need help with my Goodreads. It's one of those things that even though like I'm doing pretty good with my reading already, Goodreads is telling me you're behind on your goal. Calm down, Karen. Calm down. Okay, I usually try to leave my thrillers and horrors to the either late summer, early, like into spooky season. But there are 2 that I definitely want to try to get to earlier rather than later. One of them's for a video. One of them, I really just want to see what everyone's talking about. It's a, bear with me. The Project by Courtney Summers. I loved Sadie. And everyone's saying that this one's bad. So I would like to, I don't know, see why everyone says it's bad. Because it's about a cult. So like I should love it, right? I have it on audio, so at least I'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. But yeah, I'd like to know why. And then the other one is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is for a video that I'm going to be doing April, I think. So, like, it will be read for sure. I think it's April. It is somewhere in the first half of the year. So, this is another polarizing book. Some people have it on their best books of the year, and some people have it on their worst. So, interesting juxtaposition there. I somehow completely skipped this shelf, but we're gonna come back to it. So here's some adult fantasy for you. We have Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. I think this was originally a 5-star prediction because it's about a circus, and like, I should love that. It has very Night Circus Moulin Rouge vibes, so I really should enjoy this, but for some reason I've just been putting it off. So if I put it on the cart, it'll be in my face and I'll have to read it. Okay, and then we have A Curse Nash by Julie Xanthopoulos, who is Julie from Pages and Pens. I bought this book in October. I started reading it, but I had a whole bunch of other projects that I needed to get to, so it got kind of like put on the back burner at like 50 pages. So I'd like to restart it and pick it back up. I have 19 here. We're going to make it an even 20, and I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm actually pulling a book that I haven't even hauled yet, but we're going to do it anyways. And that's going to be The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Like I said earlier, I am reading The Inheritance Games right now, and based on the way that this book is going, it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger, so this is definitely going to be a book that I want to pick up immediately following it. And I have a lot of books on my TBR, so I don't know that that's going to happen, but it's fine. Okay, that's an even 20. That's a good number, right? Like I said, these aren't books that I will necessarily read in the first half of the year, but they are books that, like, I will try to pick from with categories. So because I play a game for my TBR, and I also have secret video projects that I do every month, like multiple secret video projects, I may not actually, like, get to all of these, and I may not be able to choose from all of these, but this is a good start. And we'll see what happens in 6 months. So I'll check back with you in July. That is all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button. You can do so down below the video, and all the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you'd like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.